Hello there everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Elliot Webber and once again we finally have another announcement. Of course it was announced last week that Colin Turkington will be returning, but we have a new driver joining the BTCC and it is Ronan Pearson. So let's get straight into this. Yes guys, that is right. It was announced this morning by Excelr8 Motorsport that Ronan Pearson will be making his sort of long-awaited BTCC debut with the team, completing the lineup of himself, fellow rookie Nick Halstead, race winner Tom Chilton, and of course the reigning BTCC champion Tom Ingram in what is a pretty good lineup. Of course, we've got Tom, Chilton and Ingram returning to the team for 2023 this year. And of course, we have Nick Halstead making his full-time BTCC debut after multiple years in GT, some years in TCR UK, and of course, an appearance in the Renault Clio Cup and an appearance in the BTCC back in 2021 with Excelr8. So Nick, some consistency there, and Ronan Pearson technically sticking with Excelr8 Motorsport. As some of you may remember the name, Ronan Pearson has been on the Toka package for the past 3 seasons, racing in the Mini JCW Challenge. He has been a race winner there with Excelr8 Motorsport. He was a championship contender last year as well, so I think Ronan is ready to make the step up. I think this is a good signing for both sides. Excelr8 Motorsport, of course, now one of the best teams on the grid. They've had a very fast and rapid rise to the top of BTCC, and I think, yeah, Ronan is a good addition. And I think Ronan himself is probably looking at Excelr8 going, this is the best team. This is the team I want to be with. Of course, Ronan has also been a development driver for Excelr8 for the BTCC team the past few years, so he has driven that Hyundai before. So all in all, a pretty good signing, I think. A bit of a shock. I honestly was not expecting Ronan Pearson to step up. I honestly thought he would do one more year of minis and then move up for 2024. But it's a welcome surprise, in my opinion. I think, yeah, Ronan is still very young. He's in his early 20s. He's still extremely young. And I think, you know, youth is the way to go nowadays. And I think Ronan has got a lot of potential. My predictions for him, well, I think he's going to have a very traditional rookie year. I think he won't be directly at the back, but I also don't think he'll be at the front straight away. I think he will need some time, and I think 2023 will be a learning year for him. Of course, as I've mentioned, racing in the Mini JCWs, he moved out of the JSCC, or the Junior Saloon Car Championship, or the Citroen Saxo Championship as many people call it. He raced in that in 2019. He then made the step up to Mini JCWs in 2020, that COVID year. Then in 2021 he remained with he did remain in the Mini JCWs, but this time going to Excelr8 Motorsport, where once again he would have a few race wins, I believe. I'll put some pictures up and his results on screen now for you. And of course then 2022 he stayed with Excelr8, where he would indeed win some races, and I do think he was in that title fight in the season. Of course, Sam Weller being the champion, so I assume we hopefully can see Sam Weller step up this year as well. But for Ronan, yeah, I think my predictions for him, I don't think he's going to struggle, let's say, but I don't see him being where Tom Ingram was, but I do think he will outperform Nick Halstead. That's no disrespect to Nick, but I do think Ronan will outperform him, purely because I think Ronan's younger, and in my opinion, I do think Ronan is the better driver. But obviously, out of all 4 of the Excelr8 guys, I do see Tom Ingram once again being a championship contender. Whether I see Tom winning a second title in a row is another thing, but yeah, for Ronan, I think his aim will probably be to win the JST, the Jack Sears Trophy, which are, of course, for drivers who are yet to achieve an overall podium finish in the BTCC. I think he'll be up there. I think Jack Patel will be up there, wherever Jack Patel goes, and I'll get into that in a minute. So yeah, all in all, some points finishes, let's say, for Ronan. I do see him scoring some points later in the latter part of the season. Potentially, maybe he might have an appearance in a race 3 due to a reverse grid. Maybe he could get a top 12 at some point. But who knows at this point? Who honestly knows it at this point in the year? But yeah, as for Jack Butel, where will Jack Butel go? Of course, now that the Excelr8 lineup is complete, Jack Butel was out of the seat. Of course, we know Dan Lloyd has moved on to Team Harding with the Cupras. As for Jack Butel, where do I see him going? It's a tough one, but honestly, I can see him at Motorbase. I don't see Ollie Jackson coming back to BTCC this year, which is unfortunate. But I don't really see him coming back. Sam Osborne, I can see him returning to Motorbase, and I do see Jack Butel filling that obviously 4-car lineup with, of course, Ash Sutton and Dan Camish returning to Napa this year. Whether they'll be using the Fords, again, I have absolutely no idea. I can't predict at this point. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. What is your opinions on Ronan Pearson joining the BTCC for the first time this year? And how do you think he'll perform? And also, where do you see Jack Butel going for this season? Of course, if you are new around here, be sure to like this video, share with your mates, because it does help my channel grow. And of course, click that red subscribe button, because we really need that, because we are, of course, firmly on the road to 200 subscribers. My aim is to have 150 subscribers by the season opener in April. So get subscribing, and of course, share with your mates. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.